Hello Livewires, Heather Boyd Wire here. And today I'm making this beautiful diamond-shaped wire-wrapped ring to match the earrings and also a bracelet made in previous videos. I am using 20 gauge Beadalon German style wire and 6mm glass faceted beads. I have a rawhide mallet and a steel block, and my tools are the Beadalon Slimline Series chain nose pliers, round nose pliers, the Glimmer Series nipper tool, their nylon jaw pliers, and the bail making pliers. I'm starting with 6 inches of 20 gauge German style wire, and with the bail making pliers I'm going to make a closed loop. From there I will go right beside and make another loop so it's touching the first one. And then another one, making sure you alternate bending the wire to the front and bending the wire to the back so it sits flat. Now the wire is going up at an angle so we can create the diamond shape. Go ahead and turn the wire around the end of the bail making pliers on the opposite side and just adjusting them so they're right beside each other. And another loop to the opposite side. Bring the wire around and adjust it so it's just nestled in there. And now we're going at an angle so we can create that diamond shape, wiggling the wire around so it sits right beside the previous loop. And now we're going to turn the corner and bring it down at an angle towards the beginning. Again, going to the opposite side, wiggling it around, pressing it so the loops are right together. And we're going to do one last loop, and you'll see we are going to have 2 loops that will be stacked one on top of the other, and this gives it a nice finish so you don't have to twist your ends around. The ends are just tucked in flush, and you just have to adjust it so the 2 loops sit one on top of the other. Give it a little press with the nylon jaw pliers, make sure it's even, make sure the loops are stacked, and now you can give it a little tap with the rawhide mallet. Go gently with it, this will just help it to sit flat. And for the ring, I have these larger bail pliers and I'm going to just turn it around. You can alternately hammer the diamond component on a steel ring mandrel if you prefer. We just want to curve it around so it follows the shape of the finger. Now I'm going to add a bead in the middle. Take about 1.5 inches of the 20 gauge German style wire, add your bead and give it a bend at about 1/4 inch. And now you can just slide it in there. And I'm putting it through the one single loop and then the other double loop. Bring the wires to the back and clip them flush, leaving a little bit of extra to tuck in. Get your chain nose pliers and tuck in that little extra bit of wire so there's no little pokey bits. Push it right in there. And now we're going to get 6 inches of 18 gauge German wire so I can show you what it will look like with a larger component. There's 2 options for this ring. This one's a little more chunky, and we're going to go ahead and do the same formation where we bring the loop to the front and we bring the loop to the back. The 18 gauge is a little thicker than the 20 gauge and makes for a larger ring. Keep bringing the loops around. I'm using the second loop on the bail making pliers to make this a little larger. The sky is the limit with these designs, and you can also use the components from my previous tutorials to make rings. So continue with the pattern to the front, to the back. Now this time I'm not going to do the extra loop because the wire is thicker. I don't want this to be too chunky, so we just clipped it after the second loop on the last side. And now we're going to push the wires in with the nylon jaw pliers. Go right around, pressing it. You can hammer it a bit if you like to. And now we're going to add the bead in there. For this one, I'm taking 22 gauge wire. It's a little more malleable than the 20 gauge. And I'm actually going to wind it through the loop a couple of times. I cut the wire a little long. You can clip it shorter to make it easier to bring through the loops. Give it a good little wiggle and a tug and pinch it in place. This is also going to help to keep the component together because we have that one less loop where it's not stacked at one end. So there's one side that just has 2 loops, but when you add the bead, it'll help hold it all together. Attach it on the other side. We're going to bend it first to give it a little help to get it in the right position. Stick it through, and then it just sticks right in place there. And now you can wind it around. Bring it through again. Grab the end with some chain nose pliers, wiggle it, tug it, so it's securely in place. Bring the wire to the back and give it a little clip with the flush cutters. Now take your chain nose pliers and push in that little pokey end. And adjust it as you need, wiggling it around. And now to make the ring band, we're going to take about 3 inches of the 18 gauge German style wire, bring it around a ring mandrel around the size that you need, and we're going to bend one end up and the other end at the width of the diamond component. That's our starting point, and we put it back on the mandrel and add our component, putting the wires through opposite sides and bend them back on both sides. Give it a good little push, remove it from the mandrel, pull the ends a little bit to make sure it's more secured, and clip the ends flush on both sides. Using your flush cutters or the nipper tool, and pinch in those little pokey ends with the chain nose pliers. Back on the ring mandrel, give it a good little push. There's the finished ring, and you can see the 2 different sizes. Thanks so much for watching the video. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making tutorials. You can also join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook to share photos of your wire art and wire jewelry. You can get the templates for most of my projects in my Etsy DIY shop. Be sure to use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase any 5 templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my shop. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.